Just got my new knife, Fallkniven A1 survival knife. I gotta say, pretty sweet blade. You can look up all the specs online yourself, but what we're gonna go ahead and do is check the initial sharpness out of the box. This is phone book paper, always a good test of a fine edge. So I've had sharper knives, but I don't think I've ever had a knife this sharp. There we go. It has that thick of a spine. It's just about a 1/4 inch. But we can take this knife and it'll cut regular paper just fine. It's definitely much smaller than I thought it was. The sheath isn't half bad. It actually feels kind of like a surplus army knife sheath. It's kind of got this sandpapery, fine grit sandpaper texture to it. Also, the cool thing about it is you definitely have options for how you want to carry it. You could, say, carry it like so, cross draw, or normal draw. And the cool thing is the retention is actually really good. But as far as how long that'll last, who's to say? You could see a little bit of wear right there on the actual retention knob. The balance of the knife feels good. It's actually right at that hilt is where it'll balance, which means if you grab it back here, this large belly right here, it feels like it really just wants to chop. Being a larger sized gentleman, this knife really does almost feel at home for me as a neck knife. And the great thing about it is when this is dangling or getting in the way while I'm doing some sort of task, I could just adjust to get it out of the way when I'm doing something. So all in all, not a bad sheath at all. So now we're going to go ahead and try and make some feather sticks with this bad boy. Just really letting the weight of this bad boy do the work. VG10 is really just an excellent steel, really easy to sharpen in the field, strap back into action. And as you can see, a lot of people when they do these feather sticking techniques, they hold the stick down like so. Living here in the Pacific Northwest where it's super wet, it's nice to be able to even stand up while you do this technique to stay off the wet ground and make your feather sticks this way. Really just a fantastic knife. While I'm soaking up on it, I really like to get right there at that balance point and put my index finger over it. Light my fire still. Just go ahead and check the spine. Really just shoots those sparks out there. It's really quite fantastic. Take a little bit here to heat these up. There you have it. Can't even blow it out. So overall, I would say just a really fantastic knife. Is it worth the money? Probably not. $200 is pretty expensive. Now I got this knife because I really wanted a larger survival blade that was much bigger than, say, maybe a Mora, but maybe about the same size as this $30 charade knife I bought. There's nothing wrong with this knife right here. It weighs a little bit more than the Fallkniven. They're both about a similar size here, fit the hand good. But what I was really disappointed with was the steel on this knife right here. It uses a HCR 13 MOV, and the problem is not that you can't get it sharp, but that it won't hold the edge as long. But I can do the same work with this knife. So it'll carve feathers just as good as this Fallkniven right here.